that faith if the Spirit is hidden, faith becomes religion or religious practice or something that is breakable and able to fall ill and able to. What do you say? Is it? Does it make sense? Yes. Yes. And if we ever have experienced or noticed a person who might be very articulate with a religious talk or talks about God or Jesus very much, but it's only in the emotional level. How does it look like when the religious side is broken? What kind of symptoms are there? How does it look like in a personal life or in church life when the Spirit is not available and you practice religion through your body and mind?
I think there would be misunderstandings behind it too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much.
And then you might be asking a lot of questions.
Yes.
Tendency of arguing.
Yes.
I'm right.
Yes. Yes, because you have the feeling that you're right and you have the feeling that the other person is wrong. Correct.
Is it also possible to have fightings?
Yes. Yes.
So it's when you start persecuting people who believe differently.
Yes. 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 But you have all the words, you have the same Bible text, but you read it through your emotional and physical side, and our body and mind are very easy to teach, so we can learn the different kind of patterns in life because we need to save energy, because body needs to stay safe, and that's why we can manage the religious life also without the spiritual side. Even though we talk about it, even though we pray, and there might be something available, but the brokenness and the imperfection that we have as people shows up there in the two-dimensional level. But if the Spirit is available, there might be religious practices, there might be still feelings of justification or something else, but there's something more prominent available to, we can't ottaa kantaa englanniksi.
To take stand?
Yes, yeah, to take stand on the feelings and the viewpoints you might have. Okay, what else is there in the spirit side of a person?
Love.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Good. What else? What about dreams? Where are dreams?
Mind?
Mind?
Yes. If we start dreaming, our mind dreams. And the next question I'm going to ask you through Mentimeter is, okay, do you know the purpose of your life? somebody knows it. Yes. Okay. If the person who knows the purpose of your life, okay, there's somebody who is not quite sure. Maybe it's the person with a cat.
We all know that person's purpose, some sort of cat.
Yes. I mean, regarding to the previous slide that argues that there's no unbearable situations if you know the meaning and purpose of the moment and your life, then the purpose is where? Where is this purpose?
Well, put it in green, so I say it's mine.
I'm sorry. It's not in the mind,
Okay.
it's here. Your spiritual side has the purpose. The mind doesn't have purpose. What does the mind have? Mind has wants, needs, dreams, thoughts, feelings, addictions, expectations. Yes. Okay. Okay. Next question. Are you a free person? There is one free person. Two. Okay. There is one who is free in some regard. Where does freedom go?
Work.
What?
Work.
Work. What does that mean?
You have to work.
For freedom.
You're trapped in your job.
Okay, the job. Okay.
Or you're trapped looking for a job.
Yes.
Yes.
Unemployment. Yes. Freedom. We are not completely free as people. We are free in some regard. We have limits in our freedom. For example, if I would like to undo the mistakes I've done until this moment and I could rewind back to when I was 5, I can't do it, can I? No. So that freedom I don't have. What do I have that I have freedom to regarding my mistakes?
You can learn from them.
What?
Not repeat them. You can learn from them.
Yes.
And not repeat them.
Yes. What does it say about you if you want to learn about your mistakes and not repeat them?
Remorse.
Hmm? Yes. And does that differ about the feeling of guilt we might have? We can have remorse.
What is remorse, please?
Katumus. Yes.
Regret.
Regret.
Yes. Mm.
Regret is, yes, also. Responsibility. Where does responsibility go?
Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Look, there's freedom, but there's no freedom without responsibility. If there's total freedom, there is so much addiction that you don't even notice how addicted you are.
Mhm.
If you feel like you're totally free and nothing binds you, then there is no responsibilities, and you are totally not free, and you are really addicted. Hey, do you have any questions before we go to the other part? What kind of thoughts do you have? Addictions we put here, and body also can have. They're both having addictions. The mind can have addictions, and body can have addiction. Your spirit is addiction free. Do you have any question? What about the stressed, annoyed cat person? How can we help that person managing the stress-induced annoyance with this picture? How can we help him or her?
I think so. Stress is some kind of consequence of no purpose.
Mhm. Why are you saying such a bold statement?
So that if your boat has no this pedassing,
Yeah,
the one where you can guide your boat. So then you are just
The rudder.
yeah, you are just going according to wind.
Yes.
Wherever it blows.
Yeah.
So if you have some kind of purpose, then you have this trouble of this terracing in your boat, and you are not going without it.
Yes. Yes. A float, you just float or then you sink. But with your spirit, there is what? Direction, and you give it how? You lead your life. I have been part of this church a long time, and I have heard many times that God does everything for us. What do you think? Is there something up to us also? And what, if yes, what is it?
Kind of choice. You have many choices.
Yes. Yes. What if God made choices for you?
Does not free will anymore.
Yes. Exactly.
If people would not have a choice, we would not live in this world. We would be in Adam.
Yes. Free will. Free will is not in the mind. Our mind is never free. It is always connected with the bodily situation and the hormonal situation and the circadian situation and the parenting situation and the relationship situation, job or job hunting situation, or, okay, now I want to help the cat person. Is it so that the person is responsible of the pet?
Yes.
Yes. That has been the choice that they have made. And then there is annoyance. There is a feeling of annoyance. What can we do? Help the person. He or she is very annoyed with the cat. Okay.
The cat to therapy.
Okay. Pets, however, don't have the spiritual side. So if we don't have the spiritual side, in that regard, we are really reacting like animals are reacting, like mammals or whatever. So what makes us people and human is the persona we are. Okay, what if somebody asks you to change and and you argue that I was born like this and I have the same characteristics like my mother and father and I just can't help it. Has that been an argument in a family setting ever? Mm-hmm. There's some honest people here. Yes, it was, I am like this. I just can't help it. I am like this.
So does it mean that you don't have choice?
Exactly, good question. What do you say to Karina? Some one of us characteristics. Some of us are very slow. Some of us are very perky and active. Somebody just gets fired up like really fast, and then the anger melts down really fast. Somebody builds up really slow, and it takes a very long time for him to calm down, or her. So that is the character luonteen piirre as a person. But what is here?
In the spirit?
What?
So in the spirit?
Yes.
Personality?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Persona is here. It is true that we can't just a little fix our characteristics by like nutrition, or we can react differently if we are not hungry or like that. But the basic beat that our life has, it's pretty similar all the time, right? We can't change this very much. But that is not the most important thing, because we can change this here if we want. Okay, and then I have another hard question for you. This is not a Mentimeter question. This is just a question I want you to answer to me here out loud.
Lemon juice.
Are you sure? You are?
Sometimes if there is seeds,
Yes.
it may come faster.
How many lemons have you squeezed?
Yes.
When you will think about it.
What comes out of a lemon when you squeeze it? Akivilla, you should know.
Should I?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, you have studied biology.
Water.
Yeah. I would say that juice is coming when you squeeze the
Yes.
lemon, it will come juice.
What if I squeeze the lemon or you squeeze the lemon? What comes out? Does it differ?
If we speak about lemon, the result is the same.
Exactly. So it is not because of who squeezes the lemon, it's what is inside the lemon, right? Okay. And now this gets interesting. When life squeezes us, what comes out?
Whatever is inside.
Exactly. Yes. And does it depend on the person or on the situation that squeezes? No. It just depends on what's inside. It just makes it shown. Many times we accuse somebody else of our reactions and feelings and situations, but luckily our responsibility lies with our healthy side. And hey, where are the values? Wait, next question. This I want to see. values? Kindness, truthfulness, inclusiveness. You can put many if you have more than one or two. Patience, just. Honesty, trying to do the right thing. Okay. Okay, you don't have a phone, so you need to answer out loud. What are your values?
Equity.
Okay, what does that mean?
We are all at the same level. We are all created by God. So in that sense, we are all in the same level, not depending where we come from.
Exactly. Okay. So, where are the values in a person?
The spirit.
Yes. Good. Love for God. Yes. When the spiritual side, this is something that I would think that would help, especially Adventist church members and the church life a lot, because we talk about three-dimensional person, but we talk about body, mind, and spirit as a religious spirituality. And like we talked, if there's this not available, then faith jumps here, and it's the faith of our mind. So that is that if I would have a choice, I would fix this wording and we fix this rhetoric in order to explain more about the truthful dimension of the faith in a person's life. Because spirituality as a hengellisyys, religiousness, is part of this if it's available. If it's hidden, then a religious person reacts through the emotional level. And when our church or the culture talks about religion here, people still struggle because they have feelings like this now, tomorrow a different feeling. There's no steadiness and calmness necessarily. So this is that you can, what do you think? Should we like clarify this a bit? Does this make more sense?
If person doesn't have spiritual part of this system, does it mean that he or she doesn't have free will, values, hope, and all other
Okay, what would you,
characteristics?
very good questions. What would you answer?
Where does it go?
It is there, but the person just doesn't use it. It is there as a possibility, as a reserve. Whenever a person wakes up, starts becoming responsible and free, and starts operating and leading their own life. If it's not available, it's somebody else's fault what comes out of my lemon. And there was one question, these are all anonymous questions. There's one question. I have problems with self-confidence and self-love. It breaks the relationship with my partner. How would you help this person with this picture?
Could you repeat?
Yes, the question is, I have problems with self-confidence and self-love. It breaks the relationship with my partner.
What is self-love?
Itse rakkaus tai siis itsensä rakastaminen.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
With this picture, how would you help this person? What is self-confidence? Where does self-confidence go?
I think it's in the mind.
Why do you think so?
It's a feeling.
Yes. Great.
Like it's an awareness thing.
Yes. Self-confidence is a feeling. There is not a measure in the world. You can go and measure your self-confidence. It changes from day to day, moment to moment, and regarding your environment and your situation. Right. And still, some person and many people lead their lives because of the feeling or the perceived amount of self-confidence that they have. Okay, let's say I have a low self-confidence. What can I do? What can I do with here?
Try to make different choices.
Yes, what kind of choices? What kind of choices? I have problems with self-confidence and self-love. It breaks the relationship with my partner.
I think so. It's also connected to values.
Okay, explain.
So I should think about what are my values, what I appreciate.
Yes. Okay. Where does worth go?
Self-worth
Worth.
or general worth?
Yes. Self-worth or worth as a human being.
Image of God.
Yes. That
Then-
gives a big hint.
Spiritual.
Yes. Can we change this?
Maybe in our mind.
Yes. But is it changed because we don't think that we're worthy?
No.
No.
Yes. If we close our eyes, are they still blue if they're blue when we open them?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is not something we get to decide. And if we decide to live our life that there's no self-worth in me, or there's no self-confidence in me, that idea is a very selfish idea, because it trumps something that God has put in us and designed in us. That is not humility or nobility or how to say, that we are really, we want to serve and there's nothing in us, and it is manipulation, selfishness, and it's a narrow-minded thing to eat the word that God has designed in us. Of course, we still have it, but the effect it has in our lives shows up when the lemon is squeezed. Okay, the cat person. Yes.
Still to the issue, if a person has formed the value of himself through, for example, through the values his or her parents have
Yes.
set to them,
Yes.
then there's a process to
Yes.
overtone
Yes.
the picture of myself got from my parents, so that I could understand my meaning
Yes.
and my value as seen in God, through God's eyes.
Yes. We as people, we have two sets of conscience. We have our true conscience, and then there's something that we have been taught at home? Where do these go?
True conscience goes in the spirit,
Yes. Why?
because it comes from God.
Yes. And learned conscience. Yes. Okay. What if I come from a family that has taught me so low self-worth? Who is to blame?
The family.
Mom and pop.
Yes. It is something that we've been given or we've been offered at home. We still have freedom how we see it and if we choose it for ourselves. And this learned conscience, for example, low self-confidence, it has an effect because our body reacts maybe in intimate relationships or friendships or work life or somewhere. But we can still choose the angle and the viewpoint that we have. Okay, is there any question?
But it's always, it's not easy to forget what your family or maybe friends in school, somebody said bad about you or anything. It's very hard to change your mind.
Yes.
Is there any
Tricks?
how to do it?
Yes, luckily. You don't have to change your mind. You just let the mind be and you choose the valuable choice regardless. You can't change your feelings. Let's not think of a white elephant now. Let's not think of a red elephant now. We can't fix feelings with feelings. We can change addiction to another addiction, but it's still a fear of feeling empty, and it's been filled with something else that will try to fulfill the emptiness. We don't have a freedom to separate from our feelings, but what do we have?
A freedom to control it?
What do you mean?
Like to control our feelings?
How can you control your feelings?
Can I say maybe to control
Yes.
to control our responses or reaction to the feeling or
Yes.
whatever is causing us to feel that way?
Yes. You might still have the feeling, but that doesn't say lähe.
Se on liian alas menty.
Okay.
Kato, hei, se on tänne.
Violence is not always the answer. Hyvä, me saadaan tästä vähän tilaa. We might have the cat that annoys us. We might have there was one question about, I miss my family back home, but I need to work here. My heart is broken, what can I do? What has life been putting in this person's plate? There is a feeling of longing. There is a cat that annoys someone. There is a feeling of low esteem that breaks the relationship. And then there is other question. My family back home asks for money every time and I'm stressed. So stressed. We can't have any saying what happens here. What what life brings to us. Not everything is our choice, right?
Yes.
But we are not robots, so the feelings might change bigger or dilute lower, but our spiritual side has a say, and that's what makes us ourselves. This doesn't make me, that what life brings to my plate. What makes me myself? We always concentrate on what has happened to us, what has our parents done, what has our friends done, what has our husband or wife done, or friend done, or child done, or boss done, or government done, or Trump done, or Putin done, or the list is very long. There's no saying in that part, and there's no saying of what reactions or what feelings wakes up in us. But what is in our freedom of chosen viewpoints? Susan, say. Huh? What makes you you? Not something that happened to you, but something
Who you are in Jesus.
that might be one reason, but the choice of being with Jesus is a choice of a human, and that is a value-based choice. That is not always a feeling-based choice. I don't feel like a Christian all the time. But what makes you you is what comes out of your lemon. So, life just became very simple. I'll ask you the next question, and this is, I'm very interested to see what you think about this one. This. It says what expectations you have regarding life. How is life supposed to happen for you? You who came late, you can join menti.com and put the code, and you can answer anonymously here. What expectations you have? How is life supposed to happen for you? This moment and from now on. There's one question. My business isn't growing and it's giving me stress. How can I overcome the fear of losing everything? So there is an expectation of business success. Life full of meaning. I'm supposed to work and make money for a house and have a potential baby. I expect to have solid career and start a healthy family. Where are expectations? my chosen career, the career I'm supposed to have, I'm leaning all the time to survive my dreams to be ever closer to God. Yes. Okay. Where do expectations go? In what dimension?
Mind.
You learn very fast. What has life promised us exactly?
Nothing.
Great. It hasn't. You came into this life with, as a gift, the gift of life was given to you. And the only thing you have in life is the task to fulfill it. There's a saying, and also Mr. Frankl says that we're not supposed to ask life anything. It's life who asks us. So all the time, every time when we ask, why me, why did this happen to me? You can say, why not me? If we have created a very strong expectations of life that it's supposed to be a certain way, and we can add the God card even on top, because we trust in God, it's a success in all the ways we want. It can be very challenging when we find out life doesn't go according to our expectations. Do you have any ideas on this?
We actually manipulate the card.
Yes. Yes. No wonder we get tired of religion. No wonder we are angry with him, and we are trying to put him in a box that would suit our needs. Where are our needs? In this time of age, we talk about our needs a lot. We need to be very aware of what our needs are and how they are met. Is there any other answers still? Yes. Where do needs go?
Body.
Yes. Body has needs, mind might have needs. But isn't this quite a harsh life to not live according to one's needs or dreams or character or expectations or feelings? Is there nothing left? All the fun has been taken out.
So it's not my needs, my things, or things for me, but the meaning is more what my life could bring to life.
Yes, exactly. Now I need this up again. We were talking about the person. Put it here so you see. The feelings and needs and suffering is here in our body mind. They are here, and they can really drive you into desperation. You can get easily depressed, anxious, procrastinating, abusive, self-centered, whatever. But
Self-destruction, which is also.
yes, self-destruction is really poisoning oneself and hoping some other person would be dead. It has an effect, but it's not the effect we are striving for. Like in our Christian example of what Jesus did here, what did he do here?
Sure.
Yes. What else did he do here?
Teach.
Yes, serve as teacher.
He gave value for
Yes.
people.
Yes. Teaching.
Empowered others.
Yes.
Sacrifice.
Suffer. And the reason for the suffering. But the value choice he did because
Salvation.
love. Yes. And that's why I like working with this therapy concept, because there's no contradiction with the Bible, and there's no contradiction with the image of God and image of a person, because we need to know how to manage this. We need to have ability to serve, ability to suffer, and ability to love. And they need to be all as high, because otherwise, if we stand on it, what happens if we just serve, and we don't know how to suffer, or there's no love in us? What happens? What happens with balance?
Tumbles.
Yes. If we just love and we do nothing and we don't know how to suffer, we tumble down. So that's why these are values, and they are outside of me. My values are not in me, but they are outside of me. So if I have the feeling, if I'm annoyed with a cat, or a partner, or a boss, or my employment, or my health, or whatever, I need to look away and fulfill my values. And there's one step that happens if you're really here in despair. The first step is we sit next to ourselves. We take a little distance, and we are really, if we have a big emotional reaction, we can't help us out with the reaction. But what we can do is separate ourselves a bit, and we can say that, oh, I'm really amazed that this person really struck a nerve with me and made me feel this big reaction. We can wonder, oh, it's interesting. You have been married this long, and still you have this classic thing that gets your blood boiling. The first thing is to separate oneself from the feeling, and the next thing is to choose the most valuable choice. Okay, and now I want to make a test with you. Now you can all think of a problem. You don't have to say it out loud, but when you have a problem in your life in mind, raise your hand. Oh, let's put it here. It's the problem. First, this is a recipe for solving problems. And if there's some problem that doesn't get solved, I want to know what the problem is. Because this works. What is the problem? The next question is, what freedoms do I have? So, third one is, what choices do I have? Number 4, there's only 5 points in this. What choice of all the choices I now have, what choice has the most purpose? There. Do you also see there? Okay. So first you need to think about what's the problem. What name does it have? Then what freedoms do you have? You don't have every freedom in the world regarding this problem that you have, but there's something. There's some freedom in that situation. And then there are at least 2 choices that you can choose from. And then we go to your values. What are your values? And the choice that has most values according to your value base right now and fulfills the most purpose is the way to go. And then you do it and you say it out loud. That's it. There's not a promise that it doesn't feel something, or there's not a question how do you feel about it. But it is a value-based choice that lies within your freedom. And that is how God wants us to tackle life challenges freely and responsibly, and according to what we see the most valuable and what things are outside of our own navel. And then we say it, and then we do it. And then the next problem and the next task comes along. Yes. And that's why Mr. Frankl talks about the purpose of the moment, because this moment has purpose. And then there is a big purpose in your whole life, but also this moment. Okay. We have some time, and now I want us to discuss about what we think, what questions do we have, and how can we help each other with the challenging things. And if there's something you need to clarify or ask, or there's still some place we can draw on the board. And if there's somebody online watching that wants to ask something, you can just let us know the question.
If you'll allow me, I'll have the first question based on just what you've said, that we make the optimal value-based decision, and then we wait for the next problem. So my question is, when do problems end?
Yes, that's a good question. We might not even call them problems, but we might just recognize that life asks us now something. And just we answer by choosing responsibly. And if you want to grow as a person, and if you want to be a free person, there is this much space in your life to grow and learn.
Will it be easily to to deal with your problems if you will just follow those 5 questions? Like, will the next problem
Will it look easier?
will it be easier?
Yes, because this becomes a way of life. You start living value-based and not victim-based. Now, not other people squeezing my lemon-based. And now God put this obstacle on my way and ruined my expectations-based. The life becomes easier because you increase your responsibility in it. It has.
Run out of power. So.
Okay, great. Yes. So if life will become easier. It doesn't mean that you don't have suffering. It doesn't mean that you don't have challenges or difficulties. But life will become easier because you are an adult. And you can also teach this to your children because they have also purpose in their life and they have also freedom and responsibility according to their age. And our values are outside of us, so they are in our children, so we need to work towards them. But when there's a question of growing, we are not supposed to steal other people's growth for our own benefit. You might be addicted to fix other people's lives because it feels so good, because you know how to do it and you are a responsible, loving person. But you amputate them and you expand yourself and you no longer want to sit in your own seat. And that is not responsible, and that is not godly, and that is not biblical. You need to grow yourself because otherwise you don't know where you need to be saved. If you fix other people's lives and save them, you don't need salvation yourself. And then you are very self-centered. And that is a defense that people use because they don't know any better yet. But you can change, the lemon can't change what comes out of it, but if we are not happy about the things that comes out from us when life squeezes us, we can change it.
I have a question. If, for example, now somebody will watch and they understand, they don't have this spiritual part in their life right now, what to do? Do you have any?
Yes, we can ask questions. We can ask about that person, that what is valuable for them, what do they hold dear, what kind of a person do they want to become, how would they want to manage this difficult situation, what life asks of them. Those are questions that stretch the spiritual dimension. And then if a person is a believer, then faith steps in also. But the faith doesn't do it for you. You need to choose and operate your faith. Because God doesn't do it over your own acceptance. So it might be so that there's a person who is 40 plus years, but not an adult yet. At first, his task is to become an adult, and then he understands, oh, there's a God in my life that I need, and I want to serve. Okay, do you have any other questions? Is the cat person helped?
So,
Yes.
if the spirit is dormant,
Hmm?
how did we take the razor out of the spirit?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
If the spirit was dormant,
Yes.
I missed the point. When did we take the razor out of the spirit?
When did we?
It brought it back.
Okay.
We had the
it's,
razor
It's
of the
there.
spirit.
Yes, it's there always. But we and it might be in our lives present somehow, but it's only partly present.
Right.
And the other part of our life is total chaos. And there's only one slice of our life that is very clear regarding our values and purpose. We need to expand it because we are responsible people and we are free and we need to serve other people responsibly. If we don't have this here, we serve as victims. We become angry, we become tired and bitter, we burn out, we bore out, we die in addiction, we die in self-despair. Yes, we stretch. We find out what the purpose, what the values of a person is, and we can search for a life purpose, but it can be found. Also, in addition to the faith that we have.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now that I think briefly, it's like, at what point does a person lose the knowledge of everything, or even of himself, that they even choose to take their own lives?
Good question. What would you answer?
Or briefly, why?
Yes.
Because we never get answers in such sad events.
Yes.
I guess when there is whatever was left of the spirit is finally wiped out.
Yes. There is a term called hyper-reflection. It's very good to reflect on yourself sometimes, to find out why on earth am I acting this way. But then, when it becomes excessive, it's hyper-reflection. So we don't do anything else except study our own feelings, our symptoms, our how to say, what has happened to us, what are we lacking, what are we not having enough, what are we having too much. This body and mind, this is never balanced. There's always too much of something and too little of something. We're always lacking or overpowered. So this body and mind here, body and mind, they seek balance all the time. The spirit doesn't seek balance. It has a tension to go forward, to learn more, serve more, love more, suffer more. I mean, not suffer more like I would need more suffering, but if there is suffering in my life, I need to know how to carry it, like beautifully, and not be crushed by it. And there's also purpose in that. For example, if we have done something we can't take back, the consequences stay, and we need to carry the responsible consequence. And that contains some suffering. And that's why it can be valuable. If we can't take it away, we just take it and carry it nicely. Even though it's not easy. For example, if we have health conditions that we can't just erase in our life, we carry it. It's something life asks of us. And it's our task to have it in our lives. And it teaches us something. It can serve us serving some other people something. So there are lots of purpose in things that are like adversities.
Hyper-reflection.
Yes. Hyper-reflection is, it's dying when paying attention to your own feelings. And it's a bottomless pit. You can go to psychotherapy and analyze your childhood for 10 years easily. And then, next day, after 10 years and 1 month, something happens. You can also derive it back to your childhood wrongdoings. So it's a never-ending pit. Of course, it's good to somewhat understand what has happened, but still, there's freedom how you handle it, what you learn from it. Maybe, like you said, that you learn from it and not repeat it. You may choose not to pass it to your children. And that is an act of value, act of love, act of suffering. You carry it yourself, and you make sure that your child doesn't have to do it. So that's why we don't have to have like our life based on the traumas that we might experience. But we have a purpose regardless of them. But without responsibility and choice, we're victims. And then we start competing. Who's been the biggest victim? Who is served more? Who has done more? Who is not done enough? Who is you get the picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that is what the mind does, and it's part of us. And feelings, they are important. For example, anxiety, it's not a bad thing. If we become anxious because we don't do what we're supposed to do, we need to live our values. We make the choice, anxiety disappears. And if it doesn't appear, then we choose the most purposeful choice and carry the tendency to being anxious. But we don't make it our life goal. Question? Yes.
About the feelings.
Yes.
So, which the connection between the three areas of life of someone, the body, spirit, and mind, and how it affects the feelings?
Mm-hmm.
And also, does it mean that there's an imbalance between the three so that the feelings doesn't become stable? Because from my understanding, it is that a lot of these feelings, they are coming from a past experience.
Mm-hmm. Many times.
Yeah.
Or future fears.
Yeah. And what does the effect that has in the three areas of life, and how to deal with it so that you can have that stable balance?
Yes, that's a good question. Let's say that our life is here, and in the center, the things that are most important to us, our values are in the center, and the more we go to the edges, the value decrease. And let's say you can choose a problem that creates feelings. You pick a feeling that comes from something.
Alone, being alone.
Yes, loneliness. Good. Is it a strong feeling? Does it fulfill your whole life? Okay, so it's somewhat here. Not totally in the center, but really close to the center. Yes. We can through this spiritual side of us, we can add value and take value of anything in our life. So, if I feel lonely, I can push it further and become the loneliest person in the world. Or, if I feel alone, I can decrease the value of the I still have the feeling, that I can't change the feeling, but I can decrease the value of feeling. And what could be more important to me than loneliness? What shall we put here?
Happiness.
What?
Happiness?
Happiness is a feeling.
You can't substitute it. Huh?
What of more value would you want to put here? Is there,
Presence of life.
yes, if there's some person or something in your life that would be more important than the feeling of loneliness.
Like advantages of being alone.
Yes, for example, what are they?
You have flexibility to do whatever you like.
Yes,
You don't have
Yes.
to depend on the other person
Yes.
criticizing you.
yes,
If I want to go to the library and spend the whole day, I can be there all day.
yes,
Barbecue with the boys.
yes. So you can choose the chosen viewpoint. And I was in Vienna last November, and there is the museum of the founder of the logotherapy, Viktor Frankl, who was a Jew and spent 4 years in the concentration camp. And he made a thesis about that person, regardless of the situation, has purpose in life. In his museum, it's the loveliest place. It's very interactive and you learn a lot. There is a big cupboard in the wall, and there are these kind of like when you go to shop and you put your groceries on the moving line and you have those, mikä se on se kapula siinä välissä? Those sticks, you separate them, your groceries. They were covered of those sticks, and they were held from their ends. And in this side, there were many different kind of statements. And for example, regarding the loneliness, it said, "Nobody loves me." When you touched it and you turned it over, it said, "Be a loving person yourself." If I let it go, you know what happened?
Goes back to loneliness.
Yes. It turned back to this original position. So you need to always choose your viewpoint and keep it in order to show what comes out of your lemon. Instantly, if you forget it, it just turns down and then your mind says, "I'm lonely and nobody loves me." You can be a loving person, you can serve people and forget about your loneliness. Stop thinking about it, and less expectations, more action. And this is how you cure depression mostly. If you're depressed, your expectations are very high and your actions are very low. Of course, there can be some brain chemical imbalance that you might balance out chemically, but value-based is high expectations, low action. So less expectations, more choices. Expect less, start choosing more. One choice at the time. So life is very interesting. And we have hope already in this time. And we have suffering, but we have lots of other things that can help us grow and choose freely. because God has created us free, and if we are truthful, we're free when we when we take the things as they are. Stop dreaming. Stop victimizing yourself. Start taking actions. Put some boundaries. Respect yourself. Respect others. Whatever your values are, make sure you have enough of them. If there's only one value and it comes crashing down, you are in an existential crisis. If your whole life is to be a mother, and then one day you are not a mother, you are also something else beside a mother, or beside a daughter, or beside a spouse, or beside a worker. You are many things at the same time.
You said something that we should act more.
Yes.
But you know, as usual, people like from Monday, I will start running and do exercise. And every Monday, you promise.
Good question.
You promise yourself that you will do something, but
Yes.
Monday comes and you are
Excellent
still in the
question.
same.
Another Monday comes,
Yes.
and now it's June.
Now it's June. What is the difference between a goal and meaning?
Context.
Yes. Meaning is value-based. Goal can be hyper-reflective. You can run yourself dead. You can eat yourself dead or not eat yourself dead. It's not what you do, but the motivation behind it.
Okay.
You can wash dishes by hand through so many different motivations. You can be pissed at your spouse and wash them, like show off that now I'm really washing them. You can serve them. You can run away from the difficult situation. Oh, I need to wash now. These dishes need to be made now. And if we outside we see a person washing dishes, we see a person doing X, Y, Z. We don't know, not necessarily what their motivation are. Sometimes you need to run. Sometimes you don't need to run. It depends on the values that you do and the prioritizations you do. You don't feel like running, but if it's somewhat fulfilling your meaning, then by all means. But if it's a goal that you strive for, you might fall down because it could be hyper-reflective. Even though it's a good thing to run or a good thing to do, whatever. So values reveal what we are and what is inside our lemon. Do you have any other questions, or are we happy with fixing life challenges?
Today, there is a term these days, emotional intelligence.
Where is it?
If
Yes.
intelligence is
Yes.
of the mind,
Yes.
and then emotions are also in the mind.
Yes. Yes. It's here. Emotional or intelligence, your cognitive abilities, it's in the body-mind context. Your values can lead how you choose to. You can be, for example, if you're very perceptive and you read nicely everybody else's feelings, but your values are under par, it's a diagnose. You abuse people, you are correct and right, but you are brutal and cruel. So that's also under the value-based choice. Yes, it's good to be emotionally intelligent, but you need to have a concept of a man, a human, behind it, so you can work your intelligence in a setting that comes your way. So that's why you need to have the concept of a man. It affects everything we do, how we operate, how we work, how we do anything. If we think a person is just this, it shows in our life. We might be very intelligent, and we might know lots of things, but we might not be value-based. So that's why God has created us three-dimensional, so we could live a good life here. And about happiness, it's also a side product. You can strive for happiness, you will never get it, you will lose your whole life chasing it, you will become more unhappy, but if you fulfill your purpose as a side product, you will have moments of happiness, and you know that, oh, this is what it's all about, regarding the challenges that you might have at the same time.
You said that the spirit part could be hidden.
Yes.
Is there some steps to help someone to
Yes.
acknowledge
Yes.
them, or
Yes. I'm sorry, James Bond is calling. It might be hidden because our body is in pain. It can be bleeding, in a shock. We can discuss values when our body is in chaos, in a big chaos, for example. If we're unconscious, the body is unconscious, so the mind is unconscious. For example, if our mind is so broken, for example, if we're psychotic, like a grave mental illness, there might not be availability here. But for example, if you are, for example, have Alzheimer's, you lose your memory, you lose your cognitive ability, you still have this. This grows all the time until you die, even though our body deteriorates or our mind deteriorates. You don't have to be, you could be like mentally handicapped, you could still have this in a reasonable setting. You might have here some kind of challenges that doesn't allow you to live independently. You can start working here. And it's always a person's choice. We can't make them wake up, like force them. It's always a choice a person does. There is one German logotherapist who has excellent questions about how to ask questions that, what kind of person you want to be, who do you value, why, what kind of true personalities have you learned to know in your life, what kind of were they, what actions or viewpoints would you someday want to reconsider, how would you face an unbearable situation with a straight back, who can trust you, how people grow beside you, who people nowadays are alienated from you, what feelings are awakened about the way you interact with people now, in what kind of attitude would you carry a painful separation, are you interested in other people or just only about yourself? Those are value-based questions. So, and that's also what kind of meaning we give to the situations in life. Yes. Okay. If there's nothing else, I thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
it's been fun, and I hope that it's been somewhat disturbing also, because it's good to change your viewpoints and angle and test out how does it feel to be more responsible of your choices, even though you have these feelings that you have. God doesn't promise that the feelings go away. He asks you to answer life questions regardless. And in that action, in that motion, we show, and one more thing, we are not who we are today. We are who we are tomorrow, but we have to choose the actions today so we can be that tomorrow. So that is the task for growing, learning from mistakes. That's merciful, that's the human sides. We don't have to be more than people. And there's lots of hope and excitement also. There's like a new day that we don't know how it unfolds, but we can still make choices. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ruut, for the information. It was very nice, and I will change your answer.
Yes. Those 5 steps really, you try them out, they really work.
Otatko kuvaa?
Joo.
Otatko kuvaa?
Siellä ei lue, että miltä se tuntuu. Sitä ei kysy.
Niin.
Yeah, maybe before we will finish, let's pray.
Yes.
Yeah, let's pray. We thank you to God too.
Kaina, would you?
Our Father, thank you that you have adopted us as a humans to your family. Lord, we ask that you teach us how to become the person you have created to be. And Lord, help us to understand ourselves, and then by getting a new name, beloved, we could reach out for those around us. Lord, we ask that you guide us in the process of becoming the person who loves you the most and loves people well. In Jesus'